Welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is Paternity Test. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us, keep up to date with our daily photos, and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving, personalization options, and exclusive colors on the website, or you can a blank one on Amazon Prime. Also, be sure to join our Discord server. The Discord server link to join is in the top of the description below. On that Discord server, I do a lot of behind the scenes. We talk through the things that are going on around the company. I do photos, I get surveys, I get feedback from people about ideas for new products, new colors, things like that. So go join our Discord server, be part of that community, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. All right, so first and foremost, is the title clickbait? Absolutely. Do I care? No, and you should keep listening because it got you here this first place. I do not mean a paternity test like, is the child mine? No, I mean a paternity test as in, this will be the first time for the company that I will be stepping away for a period of time in a way that is significant. When we had James 2 years ago, in December of 2019, I was in the hospital with Leah for 5 days, right? So during that time, obviously, I wasn't at the workshop, and that was a busy time of year. But the second that 5 days were up, immediately I was back at work. And I was back at work basically the whole time, and I was back to 12-hour days, and it was hectic, right? So I never really stepped away from the company, did a proper paternity leave with James. But because this time around, I mean, that was really hard on Leah last time. It was hard on me, and it was hard on the whole situation. But it's going to be even harder now because we have James, right? So Leah's going to especially need my help after the new baby comes to take care of James and to assist in all these other things. We talked about this before we wanted to have our new baby, and we specifically said that we were not going to have another baby in December this time around. And September is a slower time of year for us, which is a good thing, and that's part of the reason why we're doing this. Besides that, and despite that, it's still a busy company. We still have a lot of things that we do, a lot of decisions that we make, and there's a lot of things that go on in September and October that normally are pretty important in our Christmas season. A lot of decisions get made. A lot of the early kind of planning that happens for Christmas happens in September and October. And beyond that, there are challenges that come up every day, all day long, in a variety of ways, in a variety of forms and functions that require my attention. Now, over the past 6 months, since we knew this baby was coming, there was a concerted effort by my team and by myself to work on saying, how can we work on building this process, building the way that the company makes decisions and designing methods of problem solving that allow for it to not necessarily require me to make the decision or to come up with the answer. And we've worked pretty hard on that, and I think we're making good progress on that, and I think there's a lot of things that are going well. One of the things that's always been a big anxiety point for me is there are times when I can't leave the company for financial reasons. And what I mean by that is, as much as I trust my admin team and as bright as they are, and they are very bright, in the end, it is my money. So in the end, if we have to make a decision between two things, it is my decision ultimately which direction I want to go with it. And a lot of times when we're short on cash, when we're not very liquid, those decisions get very, very hard and very specific. So a big part of my hope and a big part of trying to do this paternity situation the way we've been doing is I really wanted there to be money in the bank as a cushion, so that if a decision was made that perhaps I would have done something slightly differently, it wouldn't be a problem because we had the money to deal with the changes or the outfall of that. Now, I think all in all, financially speaking, we're probably in an okay position from a specific and technical perspective. August is not going to be a good month for us. August is never a good month for us. Whether we're going to be profitable or not this month is still yet to be seen. Obviously, the month isn't over yet. And next podcast on Thursday, I'll talk more about how we did this month as far as our targets, what we wanted to accomplish, and how do we do on those. And there's some mitigating factors that changed those targets mid-month. So I'll talk more about that then. But for now, I think the important element to kind of discuss is, what does this look like? What is my paternity leave going to look like? Because unfortunately, I can't just not show up to work for 3 months. I can't show up to work. I can't not show up to work for a month. I can't not show up to work for probably 2 weeks even. Not in a complete way, I should say. Realistically, what's probably going to play out, and this is what I've asked specifically with my admin team to see if we can accomplish this, is this. I'm going to work from home almost every day. Virtually every day I will work from home for probably the 3 weeks, maybe 4 if I can pull it off. During that work from home period, I will only be available for maybe 3 or 4 hours out of the day. Probably in the afternoon while the kids are napping and Aaliyah's napping. It'll probably be during that time that I can probably do some work on my computer. I can answer some questions that might come up. And all in all, that's probably the best method of paternity leave that I could probably manage. Now, I'm not upset about that. I'm not opposed to that. I understand that at some level, this is kind of the burden you bear as a small business owner and as an entrepreneur in general, is that you don't really get to separate yourself from your work. And it's funny because I have such a strange and opposite perspective than the general population. And I know the why. It's because of the difference between workers and employers, right? Employers and employees, I should say. Most movies, television shows, things like that are from the perspective of the employee. Most political arguments are from the perspective of the employee. Most people are employees. So they look at the plight of the employees and they say, well, we obviously need to help that. I mean, the Hollywood people don't. They don't care. They're not really employees, but that's beside the point. The issue that comes into play as an employer, right, as the small business owner, as the person who started this, I have a lot of perks. I'm not complaining about my job. Don't get me wrong. The fact that I could say, I'm not going to come in today and I'm the boss is huge. A big win. I like that. The problem is that it's not that I don't get to come in. I still have to work. I just have to work in a different way. And even if I take a day off, that doesn't mean that the work doesn't need to get done still. There's work that I do that only I can do. It's a little bit like the beginning when the company first got started and we had a customer service person. Their biggest complaint, and this was a very reasonable complaint, was that they didn't want to take a day off because when they came back the next day, they would have all of that day's work and all of the previous day's work because no one was covering their job while they were gone. Perfectly reasonable concern, and something that we've addressed since then. For example, Mel took 3 days off last week, and we kept up. We answered the phone calls, we did the emails. Meryl and I split the difference. It worked out great, right? So Mel's walking into the office today with all of her normal Monday work, but none of last week's work. Now, that doesn't necessarily work for me because a lot of the work I do is unique. A lot of the planning, the strategic foresight, the figuring out the new marketing things, the designing new methods of how we are going to raise money and find new funding sources and what the company is going to look like in 2 years, what the company is going to look like in 1 year, and figuring out how to plan through that. A lot of that stuff is only me. So if I don't do it today, I'm still going to have to do it tomorrow. So that's why paternity leave is a bit of a challenge. Because I still have to do the work. I just have to figure out how to fit that work into 3 hours in the day and spread some of it to my admin team, which I'm trying and we're working on it. I think we will be able to spread a lot of it to the admin team because I'm needed at home. And I'm glad that that's the case. I'm thrilled. I'm looking forward to having a new child a lot. It's actually going to be really exciting. I love babies. And I'm glad that I have my journal to write about it because that's a huge part of that, keeping those memories. Anyway, I digress a little bit. So this test for the company will be interesting. This will be the first time that I'll be stepping away for any period of time. And I'm not stepping away fully, that's true, but this is a bit of I'm trying very intentionally to step away on purpose because I want it to be a good test. I want it to be a good indicator because frankly, if I step away during this paternity leave and things go well, or things at least don't go poorly, I will feel much more relief at the idea that I'm not necessarily trapped in this. And that'll be good for me because there are days, don't get me wrong, there are days where I feel very much trapped in my situation. And we all feel that from time to time. And frankly, it's because we all have a reality of that we are kind of trapped a little bit in our day-to-day. Now, that's good. That trap sometimes keeps us stable and keeps our lives predictable in some ways. But At the same time, it's difficult sometimes for me to say, I don't really have an alternative. So this is going to be good for me because this will mean that I could say, okay, if I really did want to go on a vacation for a week or two and I was gone, inaccessible, the company would be fine. And if I really wanted to go on a vacation for 3 or 4 weeks, I probably could if I was available for a couple hours out of the day to answer questions. So paternity leave will be the first kind of test of that process, and hopefully we'll be able to make good progress on it. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in on Thursday for that next topic. Don't forget to check that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get notified when we launch new episodes. If you have any questions or concerns about your leather binder, journal, folio, accessory, or anything else we sell, please feel free to contact us at the main page of our website at Murdy Creative Co, or you can contact us via Instagram and Facebook. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, but we do appreciate your patience. You can also reach out to us on our Discord server. The link is in the top of the description below. If you join the Discord server, you can ask questions there, and a lot of times people in the community actually know the answers and can answer quickly, and that helps. But we obviously are there part of that too. So if you have a quick question or you want to place an order over the phone, please do feel free to give us a phone call at 414-434-9001. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time. You can also text us at that number as well, 414-434-9001. If for whatever reason you don't get a hold of us either during business hours or after hours, do please feel free to leave us a voicemail. We do listen to them. We do call people back. If for whatever reason you're calling about a specific order and you're leaving us a voicemail, please do include the order number in that voicemail. It starts with the letter S and is followed by a series of digits. If for whatever reason you don't have your order number, you can also be sure to include your full name, just because if you leave us a voicemail that says, hey, this is Karen, I'm calling about my order, it's really hard. We have a lot of orders from different people. It's really hard to figure out exactly who we're talking to and what we're talking about. So definitely please leave us that information if it's available. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow. Both a review on the podcast and whatever app you're listening on, as well as a review on the company and the product itself. If you want to go to murdycreative.co/reviews, there's a button there that says leave us a good review. That'll take you to Google, and on the Google reviews, you can leave us a review there. Now, you're going to notice on Google that there's not that many reviews there. We recently switched over from Facebook reviews to Google reviews for our intentional review taking process, specifically so we can boost our SEO on Google. That search ranking on the Google page is a huge part of our future plans to try to improve the organic reachability of the company. So that's a great place to leave us a review there. You can also go read all of the amazing reviews that we have on Facebook at murdycreative.co/reviews. There should be a link there for the Facebook reviews. If there's not, we'll work on making sure there is one. Otherwise, you can go to facebook.com/murdycreative.co/reviews, and they're all there as well. So definitely leave us a review there. If you'd leave us a bad review for any reason whatsoever, please, 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 there's another button there that says get directly in contact with us. It is deeply important to me personally that everyone has a good experience with the company and with the product. We will do anything in our power, including recrafting, refunding. We will take care of you, but please, please, please give us an opportunity to make things right before you leave us a bad review. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising, so please tell your friends about the company. If you want to get something for doing that, be sure to log in at the top of our website. Once you log in with that little person icon and you create a profile, every order you place will get you 10% back as in-store credit in the form of what we call Creative Cash. The Murdy Creative Cash, you can see that in the tab on the bottom left-hand corner of the website. There's a little rewards button. When you click on that, it'll open up the window pane. You can see in there the rewards points you've earned. You can redeem them there and spend them on other things. But also there's a shareable link there. If you share that link with your family and friends, they get $10 off their first purchase, and you get $10 of in-store credit when they make that purchase. So it's a great way to help the company. We really do appreciate that when you share us. If you have podcast topics you want to hear more about, send them my way. I'm always happy to talk about just about anything, and I want to give you guys what you're looking for. If you're looking for multiple binders, journals, folios, anything we sell for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, we have bulk discounts built directly into the cart. You can mix and match to your heart's desire, add everything to your cart that you're looking for, and then hit checkout. It'll automatically detect the appropriate quantity in your cart and apply the correct checkout or correct discount, for that amount itself. It's not based off of any specific thing, so you can add and mix and match to your heart's desire. It only takes the total cart quantity into account. If you are looking for a custom engraved item, we have no minimum order quantities and no setup fees. It's a simple flat fee, normally $15 per item, but that can actually go down because of the bulk discount. So the bulk discount, that logo is included in that discount as well. So if you're going to get a whole bunch for your company, you can get a whole bunch and get that down. Otherwise, if you want to get just one item, you can get just one. There's no minimum order quantities. So if you want to do that, go to basically any product page on the website, almost any product page on the website. There's an Add Custom Logo button. When you click that, it'll take you to the custom version of that product, and you can launch the customizer from there. In the customizer, you can upload logos, you can add text, you can resign, resize, relocate, all those good things, and hit add to your cart. It'll automatically detect all of the additions you've made. It'll charge the appropriate amount, and it'll create it in that cart. If you want to go add a whole bunch of them, at that point, you can just change the quantity there in the cart and buy a bunch of them. If for whatever reason you don't see that Add Custom Logo button, do feel free to send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co. That's sales@murdycreative.co. Put in the subject line custom order or looking for a custom item, something like that. And we'll be able to help and be able to get that custom mock-up for you so you can see what it would look like, as well as a custom order link that you can check out with. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.